The almighty Eren cannot be stopped, not even by the power of friendship. Oh, but wait, how about with a certain female titan returning? So what's up guys, Foxen here. Attack on Titan chapter 124. What is that, like 6 chapters left? So go ahead and cheer on Eren by smashing that colossal thumbs up, ring the bell, and let's dive into this latest juicy chapter. Or was it juicy? Kicking this off from the Marley side. Ooh, so this Titan Realm livestream powered by Eren did happen to include the Marley and Eldians too. Pretty convenient and quick way for Eren to spread this message across the world. In the background, by the way, was that Reiner's hateful mama. It looked like it. Right here, do notice that line, suddenly in a strange. So yes, confirmation right here, that Titan Realm scene wasn't just added for dramatic effect. Briefly, all the Eldians worldwide were in fact there for Eren's broadcast. They all got a taste of it. This really makes you wonder, what other creative ways could Eren use the founding Titan power? It feels like there's more to this almighty Titan that hasn't been revealed yet. The second key to notice here, Mr. Lionheart, also known as Annie's father, which did happen to come back just before Eren's attack on Marley. And of course, you know the plot point at the very end of this Attack on Titan chapter. We're gonna get to the blonde girl. Next key thing to consider, any partial Eldians not in Marley should have also gotten this warning. So yes, all partial Eldians around the world better start clearing out before the rumbling. Anyway, back to Paradise Island. So you got Reiner being ejected out of his Titan. I would have suggested to Reiner being careful since he can't go into Titan mode right now while healing. But then again, this is freaking Reiner. Not to mention the guy teaming up with Gabi again. So the plot armor family hasn't been together for a good while now, not since Marley. Time to catch up. Right here, notice the juicy piece of Titan info regarding the armored Titan. Turns out Eren's founding Titan broadcast to the Eldians and Colossal Titans also affected the armored Titan. Was this a general command for the Titan Crystal and any type of Titan hardening to disintegrate? You actually got the new looking armored Titan being this armorless Titan a few pages later. I kind of felt bad for the big fella. It was like the Hulk after getting injured by Thanos. It also reminded me of Eren smashing Reiner's face in 4 years back. What could this also mean for other Titan Crystal? For example, the raw kinky Titan Crystal dungeon, back from Attack on Titan Season 3. What is currently the state of that place? Then, focusing on Reiner here, the guy who claimed he would save the world. How the mighty have fallen. Sadly, this guy has been reduced to beating himself up about it. And come on, the big guy has been striking this familiar pose for a while now. To be the armored Titan must be this cursed, suffering fate. Right here, do notice a small detail about that airship I mentioned in my recent part 3 video. This is the second time they mentioned that. That's definitely gonna come into play. Then, for the shot of Reiner running away, some of you have asked me how the hell your favorite girl Gabi would have survived being so close to Eren's Dino Titan transformation. You can now thank Reiner for that. Whether it's via some random horse or some last minute Uber, Gabi is gonna be saved. I mean, you even had Gabi here having a very Arya Game of Thrones moment. Come on, Reiner, put more effort into it. Oh, what's that? You're just gonna fall asleep there, plugging into the wall to recharge your Titan? To be honest, I really wish Isayama would focus on other characters. Isayama at this point should be very aware of how much people hate Gabi's guts for killing Potato Girl Sasha. And let me clarify, I don't actually hate this lowly, but I am getting super frustrated with Isayama's constant focus on her. Gabi has actually had a good amount of development and perhaps digressions at some point from her introduction in chapter 90 up until this point. Although, she has had very predictable and by the number scenes, which is why I would rather almost see anyone else getting focused. Whereas Levi, Hanji, the random Eldians at Marley, some other nations that are not Marley. If Isayama could make Attack on Titan's fans love or simply like Gabi by the end of Attack on Titan, that would be an amazing accomplishment. But perhaps don't hold your breath on that. Anyway, back to more interesting people. Mikasa, Armin, Coney, and the Stallion. Overall, I feel like Jean was starting to rationalize the situation and almost accept the grim reality of Eren's plan. On the flip side, Armin here was still very much against the massive upcoming genocide and so visually shocked by it. On top of that, I'm sure trying to process whatever the hell is going on in this very situation. Eren once said that he would love to protect his best buddies. Oh, sorry for the rest of the world. Better luck next reincarnation. Better wipe out the world before they find some magical loli too. Oh, but sorry, interruption. Next juicy info drop. Turns out Eren took control of the millions of Colossal Titans, but does his power have a limit? The pure Titans here are now attacking Eldian soldiers. It really feels like this is hinting at something foreshadowed earlier, that all of these Titan soldiers were originally marked by the Beast Titan. In other words, Zeke would have been the designated coordinate for this group of Titans, not Eren. By extension, I think this does confirm Zeke being alive somewhere, despite some of you thinking that Zeke got killed off screen. Trust me, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, getting into the whole Falco situation. Huge credit to Jean for kidnapping the little boy. Very quick on that. Two very interesting details here. First off, from the stallion. The guy really not hesitating to feed the little bird over to one of the Titanized soldiers. Jean specifically picking the drunkard Pixies. Then the second key from Connie. I think a lot of us assume this, but now we're getting a confirmation. Connie's mother is still locked up somewhere around here. What it's telling here is how much Connie has pretty much lost it. The guy was super quick to agree to the transfer of powers. It really shows how much this ex-Charlie Brown guy has been through. I really wish Isayama let the drama play out here a little more. Poor Connie lost his mama, his papa, the villagers, and most recently Sasha. This chapter just had way too many constant Titan interruptions. So right here you do have eventually Connie stealing the little boy. I do wonder whether the guy is actually planning to find an actual Titan injection. Good luck on that. For the Titans here, do notice this little Easter egg. Oh my god, is that Saul in Titan form? To be honest, I dropped off this show in the past first season, but great for Breaking Bad fans or Saul fans. Anyway, switching it over to Yelena and friends. Didn't this scene look awfully familiar? I instantly thought back to that familiar Titan scene from Attack on Titan Season 1, back at Trust. This shot in particular reminded me of Jean overlooking something very similar. Oh, Isayama and your callbacks. Right here, you do see Yelena in shock regarding Zeke's Titans attacking. It does bring up the question, is no one controlling these Titans at the moment? As I hinted earlier, the founding Titan not having control of these Titans feels like a confirmation that Zeke is around somewhere. On the flip side, I am betting Isayama threw this line in about Zeke not controlling these Titans to throw you off. Oh my god, Zeke is dead. But let's be perfectly honest, Zeke has been such a major player in the Attack on Titan series, he's not just gonna die off screen, similar to Levi. If Zeke is not a living pancake right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Eren left Zeke in the Titan realm, or Eren might have picked up Zeke to go on his global tour with him. That could be interesting. Switching it to the Sasha family. So this whole thing really just sucked. You all knew it, but now you're actually getting a visual confirmation for the Nile guy in Titan mode. He's actually not that huge. In fact, he reminded me of Connie's Papa Titan that was chasing Sasha back in Attack on Titan Season 2. Perhaps Nile didn't drink that much. As for not Sasha's big action scene, I'ma be honest and say I was sighing and almost rolling my eyes at this super Gabby powered action scene. I guess those snipers really must be made of some lightweight titanium, plus combined with Gabby's passive skill to reduce pushback from it. I mean, she's fired the rifle twice, pushed back both times, and then immediately ran with the fricking rifle. Good amount of air on that jump too. I don't know, am I the insane one here? Putting aside any dislike you have for Gabby's previous actions, this girl just doesn't make much sense. I know we like to joke about Reiner having plot armor, but that's more true with Gabby. On top of that Sasha placement there felt really forced. Not something I would expect from Attack on Titan. I mean, just have Gabby there in the similar position. Don't actually put Sasha there. Anyway, getting into the actual meat for this scene. So you got some progress and healing between Kaya, her family, and Gabby. And to be fair, I do think I care more about Kaya at this point. Then, for Niccolo's line here, it felt like a very Vinland Saga moment. The guy talked about them all being capable of being these monsters, this coming from a Marleyan. Doesn't matter whether you could actually become this horrific monster or not. Followed by that nice callback to Sasha regarding leaving the forest. Overall, I do have to admit it's not that deep, but it does feel like subtle foreshadowing of events to come. I wouldn't be all too shocked if by the end of the Attack on Titan, there is no more Paradise Island left. Next up, Keith returns. So saving those bastards that kicked his ass earlier, what a great guy. He can't fight a bear off, but Titans are no problem. Not for this ex-Survey Corps commander. By the way, I thought they had mentioned Keith drinking some wine. Or perhaps I'm recalling that line for someone else. Next up, more and more Titans getting killed, eventually Mikasa joining the fun. This does mean that unfortunately for the Titan fellows, none of them were gonna get spared, not even the wine-loving Pixies Titan. And talking about the Commander Pixies Titan, out of all the Titans shown here, I definitely felt this one. My eyes got a little bit watery. Too bad for the old fella. He didn't go down being devoured by some female looking Titan. At the very bottom of the page here, do notice Mikasa Jr. admiring Mikasa's handiwork. In other words, Isayama dropping some seeds here. Expect this whole subplot to come back the next chapter or two. I do wonder if Mini Mikasa has taken a change of heart now that she's not only hurt Eren but also visited the Titan realm briefly. Anyway, switching it to a different type of roach, the Great Floch returns. Right alongside Gabi, it really feels like Floch will be here for the long haul. Funny how even at this point, Floch is bowing at the shrine of the great Eren Yeager. All hail Eldia. Ooh, but what is this? A turn on Yelena. Although, does it even matter at this point? Yelena seems to be completely out of this game. As for the next Gabi moment, it is almost funny how now Gabi is seeming to motivate Armin and Mikasa via her desperate pleas. But Armin bringing up the fact that Eren as a Founding Titan didn't revert any of Zeke's Titans back to being human really does hint at the Founding Titan not being able to, I think. Which feels weird. Eren previously did look highly against those Titans happening. So, somewhat confirmation, the Founding Titan could only make Titans and not actually go back. Anyway, let's get into it. The big moment. Blonde girl Annie returns. She sure took her sweet time. And can you tell how excited I am by my voice? So yeah, that happened. Nice detail with Annie's ring, which by the way is something that I and a lot of you predicted, plus Armin just now. Eren's roar last chapter could have awakened the blonde sleeping beauty. Alright, so let me just be honest with this, and maybe I'm gonna get hate for it. After getting plate after plate of Gabi, and now topping off this course with the Annie dessert, it doesn't feel like the whole thing has been elevated that much. Let me hear your thoughts on the female Titan. Are you hyped for Annie returning, or has it just been too long? You know how many videos I made back 1-2 years ago being super hyped at the potential of Annie's return. This Annie scene right here would have been super amazing during the attack on Marley, or even them returning to the island. But at this point, it's really hard for me to get excited for the female Titan. You got what, 6 chapters left? 10 at most for the Attack on Titan story. I bet closer to the lower amount. If you consider the Gabi stuff being some of the lower quality stuff post time skip, the whole Annie situation would be up there too. I mean, Isayama had this rich warrior character that was then further off in her own spin-off, but then she just got put on ice. It is funny how a lot of series this decade seem to have been putting popular characters in some sort of long-term freeze. Ultra vague reference there. But anyway, back to Annie. Similar to Gabi, if Isayama could somehow salvage Annie and make the wait worth it, I'll be extremely impressed. I am doubting that Isayama will be able to deliver on Annie and any Annie fans, but I do hope I'm wrong. So post below, how do you think Annie will contribute to the Attack on Titan finale? At the very least right now, we know she didn't just get eaten. I do have some thoughts on Annie that I will cover next video. But for now, a quick Annie prediction. I am expecting Annie to be filled on the event off screen. You'll then see this super shocked look on her face. I am really curious as to whether Annie has aged or not. I mean, she should be 20 now, or maybe still 16. Did her body grow at all? I definitely wouldn't want to be Annie now, but then again, I wouldn't want to be any of these warriors. Overall, this Attack on Titan chapter felt like a recovery episode. Chapter in this case. The Titan War happened, followed by the Titan Realm shenanigans, and now this recovery update on everyone. There was some Titan info dropped, and Isayama planning some future scenes. Gabi by far took the spotlight for this Attack on Titan chapter. In all, it might actually be the least interesting Attack on Titan chapter this year. Although, to be fair, I do think this was needed eventually. By the way, how much time has passed? Maybe half an hour, or 2 hours? Seems like my thoughts on the awfully slow Call of the Titans was right on the money. Can anyone stop Eren before he gets off Paradise Island? Quick other thing to notice too, you finally got the blonde girl Annie back, but still no update on Levi or Hanji. It may not be next chapter, but I am expecting a small time skip happening soon. By the way, really quickly, let me mention my top upcoming anime and best anime for this year video is coming soon. Another little surprise, I am thinking about doing this general anime livestream post those videos, so keep an eye out on that. Talking about live streams, if you do want to talk about Attack on Titan, anime, Japan, or so on, I am live streaming on the weekends. So consider becoming a Patreon supporter to get access to that and definitely our Discord community. We got some awesome people there. But anyway, more important, post your thoughts on this Attack on Titan chapter below. Did you love it? Was it too slow? Not enough Eren? Too much female Eren? What is coming next for the female Titan? Definitely go check out my Attack on Titan Part 3 video. Check back for more anime videos and I'll see you guys later.